And when we rescheduled the Foreign Affairs Minister, he came under enormous attack. Mr. Speaker, today, such a comprehensive report based on a thorough investigation of the situation has been presented to the House. We cannot limit it to just one person on each side. There is significant interest on both sides of the House. There is significant interest. There is significant interest. And so, Mr. Speaker, I think we should allow about 3-3.
Honorable Leader.
3-3.
Honorable Leader, respectfully, I'll go with my ruling. Just look at the questions. The urgent question 1, which is filed by, the question was filed by Samuel Bujenapo. The question is soliciting almost the same information. You take the 2, B, it's almost the same line. So I think all the information that we need or we need to provide to the nation, we can solicit, if not through the statement, through the questions. So I want to just stick to what I've just said, 1 each, then I'll give the opportunity to leadership. Please bear with me. Yes, Honorable Ranking Member.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, let me begin by thanking the Honorable Minister for this very elaborate statement given to the House, and also to thank him and welcome his decision to share the report of the Ministerial Investigative Committee to the House. Because, Mr. Speaker, at the committee level, we had requested for this report, and we are yet to have a look at the report. Mr. Speaker, let me very quickly make the point that we from this side, the minority, we are not against or opposed to any effort to establish accountability. We don't have any difficulty whatsoever. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, we encourage the minister to ensure that wherever there is rot or wherever there is corruption, he should investigate, root it out, and bring the perpetrators to book. Mr. Speaker, a certain Mr. Kwatin is alleged to have been involved in a corrupt act. That cannot be the burden of this side of the House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I make this point. Mr. Speaker, I make this point because in a government machinery, even today, in this government, you may have public servants, civil servants, officials in parts of the government machinery conducting themselves in a manner which is inappropriate. Those people, there should be investigations. If they are found out, they should be brought to book. So we want to assure the minister and assure the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that the Committee on Foreign Affairs, the minority caucus on this committee, fully support his effort. In any event, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Fred Kwatin was recruited into the Washington mission as far back as 2013, during the time of President Mahama. Mr. Speaker, the contract for which the minister is very unhappy about, Mr. Speaker, the first time Mr. Kwatin was given a similar contract on temporary basis was in the year 2015. And I can furnish the minister with evidence to support the assertions I'm making. Mr. Speaker, the basis for the investigations or the basis of this alleged corruption, and I use the word alleged with great emphasis. Mr. Speaker, what is the basis of it? The basis of it is, to simplify it, is that the mission in Washington is supposed to have gotten into a certain arrangement with Mr. Kwatin's company because, according to the mission, there was some bureaucratic inertia in terms of transmitting visas and passport booklets to applicants. Mr. Speaker, the minister himself is attempting an effort like that here in Ghana, where he's employing courier services for the transmission of passports to applicants. Mr. Speaker, that is the basis for this alleged corruption. Simplicity. Mr. Speaker, as we speak today, there is an Indian company. Mr. Speaker, as we speak today, there is an Indian company called Premium. An Indian company called Premium, which is rendering the same services Mr. Kwarteng's company is supposed to have been rendering to the Washington mission, which has become the basis for this allegation of corruption. That company is still rendering the same service today. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, what is the point? The point I seek to make is that the foundation or the basis on which Mr. Kwarteng's company was contracted, Mr. Speaker, in and by itself is not wrong. There is a company, an Indian company, rendering the same service today. Mr. Kwarteng's company was given a contract to render that same service on a temporary basis in 2015. Honorable Minister Okudzeto Ablakwa is making strenuous efforts in a welcome manner, commendably, to render the same service to Ghanaians here in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, thirdly, the quantum of money, the funds that are supposed to have been accrued to Mr. Kwarteng's company, assuming without admitting, Mr. Speaker, let me also put on record, those are not public funds. Those are funds which are supposed to have been paid to Mr. Kwarteng's company on the basis of this Washington mission's contract with him. And so let us be clear, the $1.8 million and the $4 million the minister alluded to, Mr. Speaker, are not funds out of public exchequer. These are amounts that the minister has put together, has estimated to be, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, there's a final point I need to make. Mr. Speaker, so the difficulty the minority have had is the question whether or not the allegation for which reason the minister set up the committee of inquiry warranted the closure of the Washington mission. Mr. Speaker, let me refer you to the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, 1970. Mr. Speaker, it's very important. As the majority leader rightly said, this is a matter which has generated a lot of domestic and international interest. And I'm the ranking with the greatest respect. Mr. Speaker, if I may refer you to the Vienna Convention. The Vienna Convention set up copiously the steps that a country ought to take or to adhere to in closing down a mission. The first step, Mr. Speaker, step one, government decision must be at the highest level. There must be a notification to the host country. There must be coordination with the host country. Before the announcement and the reassignment of foreign service officers, Mr. Speaker,
thank you.
There must be, these steps have to be adhered to. And the point we made here, and if I may conclude on that,
your point is
that, Mr. Speaker, is that the procedure which was adopted, the procedure which was adopted to close down the Washington mission was one which is alien to public international law and is not consistent with the Vienna Convention.
Thank you.
And in 48 hours, the minister opened the mission, and that tells us that the decision was a rushed one. We welcome the probe. We don't have a difficulty with the probe, but we will always insist that we should adhere to procedural propriety in terms of how we manage our foreign relations and foreign policy and the missions of our country. That is the position of this minority. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Honorable members, you see, I decided not to pick. You see, these interjections will always waste a lot of time. I beg of you, please.
Record. The minister, in briefing this House, stated clearly that the gentleman was employed according to the records of the ministry in 2017. He, on the other hand, is telling this House that the gentleman was employed in 2013 without any evidence. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of records, and for us to make progress, it is important that these records are, yes, these records are certain. It's as simple as that. He should lay it. He should just table it so that at least we can verify. It adds to the records of this House.
Honorable Habib, very well. Let me listen to. Let me listen to Honorable Chairman for Foreign Affairs Committee.
Mr. Speaker, having heard the report as presented by the Minister for Foreign Affairs, leading to the closure of the Washington mission. One has no doubt but to conclude that the minister did the right thing. The minister saw a route, rose to the occasion, took the necessary steps, and corrected the situation. Mr. Speaker, the country voted to reset this country.
That's right.
And when the people spoke, they spoke and gave the mandate to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and his appointees to correct corrupt practices, whether in this country or abroad. And that is what the minister has done. The minister's report cannot be, no individual of this house should support this practice in any of our missions. Our students just left here. And if our children heard this report and we stand to defend it, please, please.
Why?
If we say we support the minister, then let's support him all the way. We cannot say we support the minister, turn around and question what the individual did. Please, that is not right. Ghanaians have voted to reset, and the minister is resetting the ministry. The committee supports him in the action to reset. Yes. So let us work together, because that is the mandate that Ghanaians have given us. I stand to encourage the minister that we should go all out. That is the mandate that's been given to us. We will work with the ministry to ensure that Ghana see better days in the future. With these few words, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Let me now revert to the leadership. Yes, Honorable Deputy.
Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I yield to the Member of Parliament for Busumi Frehu, Asafuaji.
Yeah, we're together. Honorable Asafuaji, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to also commend the minister for availing himself to brief the House and give us some information that is very critical and crucial. Mr. Speaker, just to also emphasize and make the point once again for emphasis that this side of the House, the minority on the committee, is not and will never be against the minister's quest to probe or to ensure that the right thing is done. Mr. Speaker, but diplomacy, Mr. Speaker, is tactfulness. Mr. Speaker, diplomacy is backdoor talks. Diplomacy is consultation. Diplomacy is, Mr. Speaker, diplomacy is key and must know that there are some things that should and must not be openly, overtly, or covertly putting out there. Mr. Speaker, I have the minister's letter, which designates a team of people who are supposed to take over at the Washington Embassy. Mr. Speaker, Ambassador Mrs. Jane Gasu Aheto, head of the mission. Mr. Bernard Kwetsin, head of consular. Mrs. Bernice A. Hodegbeke, minister. Mrs. Emanuela Kakari Ajima. Mr. Speaker, there are records in the ministry between 2011 and 2013 of one of the members here engaging in key issues that are fraudulent and corrupt. Mr. Speaker, she was called back from the New York mission. Mr. Speaker, emphasis, Madam Jane Gasu Aheto. Mr. Speaker, she was at the New York embassy. Mr. Speaker, she was involved in corruption and she was called back to Ghana. And out of settlement and arrangement, she was made to repay the monies that was involved in this issue. So for the minister to tell us that embassy is now, the ministry is now taking, with all the descriptions and nomenclatures, professional, exceptional ambassadors or Ghanaian, incorruptible to the Washington ministry, we beg to differ. This matter, if I've not mentioned it here, was under, the country didn't even know about it. That is how diplomacy is still treated. Yeah. It doesn't mean that we should not apprehend or we should not deal with people who are involved in this issue. Mr. Speaker, the next thing to say, as it stands now, for the past 2 weeks, that the ministry announced that the embassy will be reopened. Mr. Speaker, the embassy was reopened but was not functional. Mr. Speaker, there was no delegation from Ghana that got to Washington. Rather, the minister assigned some members from New York to go and take charge in the Washington embassy. And this has caused a lot of Ghanaians in Washington, the devastation, the challenges, the issue, the hardship going through to get visa and passports. Mr. Speaker, let it be on record.
Thank you.
That the decision to close the embassy has caused Ghana much more harm than good. And we are becoming a joke in the eyes of the public.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, we must put that on record.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Majority Leader. Honorable members, please, we've heard you. Let's listen to the majority leader. Yes, leader. Yes, leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think this House should thank the Minister for Foreign Affairs for coming to this House should thank the Minister for Foreign Affairs for coming to fully disclose to us exactly what happened in our Washington mission. So, Speaker, I think that clearly the investigations reveal a number of infractions. First and foremost, this is the only house that can decide on the fees and charges that any institution can levy on any person for a service rendered by the Republic of Ghana. This is the only house. And to the extent that this house did not approve of any charge for a service in the acquisition of a visa to enter Ghana, that is a clear infraction of the laws of Ghana. No matter how valuable the service, no matter how good intention it may have been, clearly there has been a violation of the laws of Ghana. And if for nothing, this House should be interested in that. That how did it happen that civil servants on their own without parliamentary approval, sat down and created a business whereby services were rendered for the acquisition of Ghanaian visas and payments were made without the approval of this parliament. No matter what it is, there is a clear infraction of the law that this House should be interested in. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we may dispute when Mr. Kwarteng assumed office at the embassy. But there's no dispute that he was the IT officer when he assumed office. Whichever date, but he assumed office as the IT officer of the embassy. I'm just giving you the benefit of the doubt. I'm just giving you the benefit of the doubt. That as the IT officer, that he and it is said a spouse own a company that were providing IT services to the same organization. Mr. Speaker, even if there is a similar contract in the UK for the acquisition of Ghanaian visas by an Indian company, let us not lose sight of the fact that for our IT officer at the Washington office to now set up a private company to render IT services, and the fees goes to him, no matter how good intentioned, that is a clear case of conflict of interest. Another clear instance of infraction of our laws. Mr. Speaker, I think this House is the defender of the interest of the ordinary people who approach government for services. And I must commend the minister for the effort that he took or made to stop this. To stop this. Mr. Speaker, the day that the statement was made here, in this House, on my way home, a friend called me and told me that the figure we are even quoting is below what they were actually paid. And what he told me, and he's ready to testify, what he told me was that it was deliberately made in such a way that you could not on your own apply online for a visa. Deliberately. So even though you could apply online, it became impossible for anyone to apply online so that you will go and then seek the services of the company. And this is where conflict of interest comes in. So if the person in charge of our IT system at our mission has a business of providing that service, why won't it be easy to make it impossible for people who can ordinarily apply online to apply so that you will seek the services of his company? That is what conflict of interest is all about. So, Mr. Speaker, such a matter cannot come before this House and we will attempt to belittle it. We cannot attempt to belittle it. This is a very serious matter, happening not here in Ghana, but in Washington. Our institutions had degenerated to a point where we were exporting such practices abroad. We had done it in Ghana, SML, whatever it was, so many concocted arrangements that today we have unending investigations. National Service Secretariat, everywhere you turn. And we're not satisfied doing it domestically. We now decided that it is a commodity worth exporting to foreign countries. And we're exporting to foreign countries.
Honorable Leader, your term is almost up.
Mr. Speaker, I think that Yoko must investigate the matter. We expect the report of Yoko's investigation expedited and presented to this House by the minister. But this House is going to insist on swift and certain punishment for such violations of the flag and coat of arms of Ghana abroad in the United States. Mr. Speaker, I heard somebody talk about hardship. can you calculate the hardship of all those who had to go through this grueling treatment and had to cough out their money? And you're talking about hardship. Whose hardship are we talking about here? Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much.
Thank you. Honor leadership. Let me seek your pressure. We have committed ourselves to take certain statements. Can we continue? Come again. Can you continue with the statement? Then, before then we come to questions. Debbie, no. So we will take the statement. I'm pleading with you because, yes, I'll take the statement, then I come to questions. Ministers, bear with me, please. So let me invite, there's a joint statement on the city appreciation and Ghana's agriculture opportunity by the minority leader, Osahene Alexander Kwame Nafanyamakin, and Honorable Elvis Oseme Sadapa. Joint statement, yes.